Hello, welcome everybody to another cryptocurrency live stream. We got a bit of a late night live stream here, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Bitcoin and ETH, of course, over the last few days, absolute pump. Okay, we are still up 12% in the last 7 days for Bitcoin, almost 10% for ETH. And actually, if I go over to the monthly performance now, we are back in the green, okay, which is a pretty big flip. In my last live stream, I took a look at this and we were actually down for the month, okay. And of course, after this huge pump here, which can be seen, of course, on the Bitcoin chart, right? This was pretty much a parabolic pump over here, up to an absolute peak of 26.5K. But, we really did rip hard here. And of course, right, we actually did face some resistance once we touched this level. So this level has historically been the resistance here since we were in this kind of consolidation, which you can see the overall consolidation zone is this orange triangle. And you can see that we had about 3 main attempts. This last attempt was the strongest attempt. We did actually manage to get above it, but we did not close above it. Okay, that is the key thing to realize here. And now, right, we started this new candlestick for today where we haven't dumped yet, but we don't know if we're going to go and retest this level. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because I am very, very, very concerned here about the crypto market. I think the way this pump happened, and keep in mind, I was one of the people who was telling everybody that we were going to reach 28K, right? And the reason why I think 28K is such an important level, and we'll go ahead and put in that resistance level right here, is because this was a previous level where we broke down from, and we never actually came back and tested it, okay? Pretty much 28,000 flat. So at this point, could we peak out again and hit this level? Maybe, right? If that's what the markets wants to do, it wants to extend itself that high, it's possible, right? I'm not going to say no if that's what the market is going to do. That could happen. But whether it happens or not, we're still in a very, very dangerous position, especially if you're just getting into a position now. I'm talking about a long position, of course. Now, keep in mind, this is not financial advice, just my own personal opinion. But if you enjoy this analysis, make sure to smash this like button and subscribe. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. So, like I was saying, right, we have this risk of coming up to 28,000. But whether we do that or not, look at what we have ahead here. We could fall literally just as quickly as we pumped. We could fall right back down into the symmetrical triangle because, like I said, guys, when we're over here and we actually bounced off the 200-day moving average, I said, right, now I thought we were going to stop around here. That didn't happen, right? We pumped a little bit higher, a decent amount higher, actually, right? But the fact of the matter is we did not actually come and test the end of the triangle formation. Very often in crypto, we actually do end up coming back down. No matter how crazy it seems, we end up making our way back down before the end of the triangle formation. And at that point, right, we might go back higher or dump lower. But it's very rare that these moves that are premature compared to the end of the triangle actually pan out, okay? And especially here, the triangle was just starting to form. So I think this is a massive, massive fake out. And I really am surprised by how many people are falling into this. Okay, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are going to get wrecked here. That's just my own personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. But like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And we can have a discussion about it. I always answer everybody who comments in these videos. And I always appreciate the support. But I have to be honest with what I'm seeing here. Okay, I've been in crypto for over 7 years now. And like I said, these fake outs are not the type of thing you want to get caught into because, no one even thought we were going to fall back down to here. Well, guess what? That happened very quickly, right? Now, what worries me is we never actually came back and tested this breakout. And now that means that we haven't tested the breakout and we haven't actually ended the symmetrical triangle formation, yet we're higher, right? Which means we should probably not be this high. Could we go a bit higher? Yes, we could, right? Like I said, we could hit that $28,000 level. But regardless, right, even if that happens in the next day or two, which I don't think it will happen, but it could, there's this massive risk here of a very, very sharp drop. And this is really the main point of this video, okay? We're talking about a matter of a 25% drop that could happen in the next week here. Because after that, right, we're going to be out of the triangle formation. So this is really mostly going to happen in most likely the next 2 weeks or so. At most, at the very most, okay? Now, granted, like I said, could we see 2, 3, 4 days extending higher to 28K just to fall back down? Yes, we could. Absolutely, okay? But for a variety of reasons on the macro scale, I don't see this being the pump to just cause us to go flying up to 30, 40K, whatever people expect. Because we did not actually end the consolidation that we were setting ourselves up for, right? And like I said, when we do this stuff early for crypto on Bitcoin, happens all the time, it's a big fake out, right? It's one big fake out, and that's really the main danger here. So this is as far as Bitcoin is concerned. We'll take a look at ETH, XRP as well. And I just want to remind everybody that there's still serious risk factors in the financial space right now, okay? And the main two risks I'd say right now for crypto, and these kind of go hand in hand actually, is going to be the risk of USDC and other stablecoins depegging again, which actually, and I've actually been trading these, USDC has not actually repegged, okay? So we can go ahead and pull up the chart here, and you're going to notice that USDC, although we are very close to $1, these perpetual futures contracts are actually dropping again, okay? I posted this on my Twitter. Make sure to go follow me on there. Link in the description. That's where I post all my live crypto updates. And as you can see here, we hit this massive resistance around this 99.6 level and then started falling again, okay? This should not be happening. Why would this be happening if everything was normal, right? Bitcoin is back to 25K. Everything is fine. Everything is going smoothly. Yet we still have a massive stablecoin. Literally the second biggest stablecoin, okay? Market cap of over $38 billion. That is still not fully pegged. And if that's not a reason for concern, I don't know what is, okay? But let's just be nice here and give a break to the USDC situation. Could take a bit longer than expected, but I think some serious panic could start happening in this in a matter of days. There is still massive issues with the US banking situation. Okay, we saw the Silvergate Bank blow up. We saw massive issues with Signature Bank, which was another basically crypto focused bank. We had, of course, the let's see, there's First Republic Bank. So all these banking issues are very dangerous, right? And mind you, I'm not going to go too much into the details of USDC here, but they had their issues in, they had their funds in, so many banks blowing up here. I can't even keep track here. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Yet people still find a reason to be bullish. Now, I get why Bitcoin is pumping, okay? Don't get it twisted. I get why Bitcoin is pumping. People are using Bitcoin as a hedge, kind of. And that's completely fine, right? I don't think there's any better coin for that to be happening to. But I still think it's going to respect the technicals overall. And like I said, I am absolutely pro Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin, like I said, is the most deserving coin to be getting that thesis thrown at it, right? As a backup against banks. But this is still all correlated, guys. These entire financial markets are correlated. And if we see more banks blowing up, more drama with that, it's not going to be pretty for Bitcoin, no matter how you slice it. That's my opinion. And, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, what caused this dump was the Silicon Valley Bank, right? Which was really the one to pave the way in terms of the blow up here. So let me know your thoughts on this down in the comment section below. I really want to hear your opinion. You can agree with me, disagree with me. That's completely fine. Just let me know in the comment section down below. But I think that there is too many looming things right now that should not be, you know, overlooked. Okay, I mean, we're literally talking about you know, a massive loss of trust here in the financial system. And people are very quick to forget USDC depegging, DAI depegging. I don't think that whole fiasco is over, right? At least the chart is telling me that it's not over yet. Right now we found some temporary stability, yet you're going to notice here on the USDC chart, we did not manage to get back to $1, right? Why would that be the case? Why would we get so close, right? We're literally talking 0.4% away, yet it didn't happen. Now that's a very, very small sign and thing to look at, but if you're paying attention, right, you're seeing the cracks where they are. Like I said, this is not financial advice, it's just my own personal opinion. So please be careful out there. But I just couldn't not make a video, especially after seeing the size of this Bitcoin pump and the fact that it's really not coming in a logical time here, okay? If we were at the end of this triangle and we got this pump, I'd say, you know, no worries, go for it, right? This is a serious bounce potential. Now we ended up stretching out this bounce in really what is, in terms of the technicals, not a good moment for this to happen whatsoever, right? If we want this bounce to be sustainable, because I think at the end of the day, that's what people want, but they're getting caught up in the action. So let's go ahead and take a look at ETH here. Don't want to just stay focused on Bitcoin. ETH has been having a little bit more of a muted reaction, and I don't think that's a bad thing. In fact, ETH has actually been trading exactly how I expected it, because you can see here I'd already drawn out these previous levels. I said that ETH was actually going to go range bound. And you'll see here, actually, you know what? I'll pull out my orange rectangle tool, my favorite one there. You're going to notice that ETH has been respecting, okay, the symmetrical triangle, the consolidation that I talked about. Now, right now on this candlestick, we are still a little bit above that level. Okay, I'll go ahead and drag this out a bit more. We are still above this level, right? But like I said, once again, not a logical area, and we still have resistance here. Okay, so don't get it twisted. I think this is a beautiful doji candlestick just to go falling back down here. And on top of that, ETH has arguably even more of a bullish formation than Bitcoin. Now it's looking very messy, but you can see here the wedge pattern. We got the uptrend over here, right? And then our horizontal resistance level. And we should really begin trading more in this range like we have been. And I think this is just a fake out, very similar to the Bitcoin one, just that it's respecting its previous ranges a bit more, like I said it would, right? More logical area of consolidation, respecting its resistance level and its support level, okay? So it's not like I'm saying we're completely bearish, we're going to go crashing down to $1,000. No, I'm not saying that. But I also think, is this really the time where we're going to make it run up to 2K? I mean, we already stretched this out 22% in a matter of days here, okay? Mind you, the previous run was a very similar price percentage move, but it took many more days than what we had here, okay? So yes, we could stretch out like we had back here. It's possible, although I don't think it's that likely, because we didn't actually get that big of a drop to see such a big pump. But could we stretch out? Yeah, we probably could. But even if we do that, expect a double top at 2,000. Okay? Don't just get caught up in the hype of it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at XRP here. And before I dive into the XRP chart, I knew this was going to happen. Look at this, guys. Look at this. A whole bunch of hype today just for futures to start flipping red. I mean, it really is kind of sad when you think about it. Now, of course, there's a whole plethora of news pieces that I could go through here, right? Shady stuff with the banks. All these banks here at risk right now. It's not pretty, guys. It's not pretty, and at the end of the day, even if we get a pump, even if we get a bounce, the market is going to be very careful with those signs, right? The big money is going to be very, very, very careful. And the smart money, arguably, even shorting. So we can see these futures turning red. I'll just go quickly back to BTC here, because BTC has been holding up very well. If there's any coin that's going to hold up, it's going to be Bitcoin, right? But just don't get caught off guard. Don't think that Bitcoin is invincible either. I'll remind you all that we are, as of right now, guys, still down 62% from the high, okay? I think there needs to be a little bit of humbling here, realizing that we are probably in the process of bottoming out, but I don't think this is the bottom. Now, what is nice here is, since this range here is forming, you know, it does look like we have the opportunity here to slowly start forming this base, which could be somewhat of a rounded bottom, or maybe even some kind of symmetrical, head and shoulders pattern. And, you know, most likely, right, I think 15K is probably the peak bottom. Now, it depends how bad stuff with the banks can get, but probably that was the peak bottom. With that being said, this bottom right here, I don't think it was the absolute bottom, guys. I think this is a pretty classical bull trap, and just on a very, very extreme basis, because people are so desperate to see green on their screen. Now, going back to XRP here, like I said, Bitcoin and ETH are always going to be the strongest cryptos at the end of the day. But XRP here doing a lot of nothing. To be honest, not a bad thing. Like I said, consolidation is not an issue, especially if it's respecting its range, which it's pretty much right in the middle of its range. So nothing to worry about there, right? No extreme weakness, but not getting over-exaggerated either. So I think this is completely fine, right? That's how actually most of these cryptos should be moving. Now, I always like to go and take a look at, you know, the strongest performers in the last 24 hours or so. We got some of the smaller tokens here pumping again, AI coins, possibly off the ChatGPT-4 news. These are all doing quite well here. Singularity.net, Fetch AI. A lot of the smaller coins actually bouncing here. As far as underperformers are concerned, got a little bit of a drop in gold. Maker. I think Maker could dump here, guys. Because guess what? DAI also had instability issues because it's partially backed by USDC. Which I think is a bit of a joke in my opinion, to be quite honest with you. I used to like DAI, but I don't understand the backing with USDC. It's you might as well hold USDC at that point, right? Why add the extra factors of risk there? And there's a lot of stable coins, guys, right? Most stable coins that you see here today could be gone tomorrow. And if anybody thinks that's too crazy of a statement, let's just remember our good old friend here, Terra Luna Classic, and the bank run that got caught itself into, right? Same thing could happen to USDC and other coins. Look at that drop, guys. I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but even if we see part of that, even if we see 2% of that, it's most likely going to be enough to push Bitcoin back into its range in a matter of days. And the thing here is, what is our risk reward looking like, guys? If we long it right around here, we could catch about 10-11% pump, but we could easily fall 25%. So just based off the risk reward here, I don't really get it, because even if we get stretched out to 28K, it's pretty much impossible that we're going to push to 30K immediately after that. There's going to be a lot of resistance at that 28K level, and I do think we're going to reach it, but I think it's still a few weeks, maybe a few months out. But we're getting closer and closer, guys. Like I said, I think the 15K was the peak bottom for this year. I think that we have a chance of actually hitting 30K this year now. But just be careful, guys. Strongest performers in the last 7 days. Stacks. Some of those smaller altcoins as well. Underperformers, we got ApeCoin. Some exchange coins. Bit of a random mix there for the last 7 days in terms of the worst performers. Crypto Fear and Greed Index back at 50. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the overextension, right? We were literally in quite deep fear just a day or two ago. We're already back at 50, guys. You don't want to see this volatility right now. This volatility is not going to serve us well. I'm telling you guys right now. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Just leave a comment, guys. This is meant to discuss with each other. You can leave a like as well if you want to support the channel, or drop a super chat. Like I said, guys, make sure to go follow me on Twitter. Link in the description. Post all my stuff there as well. And I just want to mention this comment here by one of my followers. First off, I appreciate the input here from him. But I think that part of his answer is exactly what the problem is right now. So I mentioned the resistance spotted on USDC and the fact that it was dumping. And he said it'll be okay, as Circle said they're ready to put companies' reserves if it starts collapsing again. Now, I can't help but laugh a little bit at that. And then he said, I totally agree that it is not a bull market, but I would not short here. Everybody is trying to short BTC here, but massive short squeeze will happen soon. Now, obviously, part of that short squeeze has already happened. And I do agree with him that, you know, if it goes up to 28K, right, that's going to squeeze out more. But like I said, the risk reward ratio is in favor of a short here, of Bitcoin dropping. And on top of that, guys, I really want to go back to the first bit of his answer, okay, where he said, Circle said they're ready to put companies' reserves if it starts collapsing, it'll be okay. Now, is that not exactly what happened to Terra Luna with the Do Kwon situation, right? I saw a tweet repost from him, or it was a screenshot, when he said something like deploying more capital, steady lads, right? And I believe very shortly after that tweet, probably a couple hours later, it started literally dumping tens of percents. Throwing money at something that's collapsing is not a way to pump it back up, guys. You might be able to pump it back up for a minute, an hour, a day, but if it's broken, it's broken, right? There needs to be a bigger fix than just throwing money at it. And that is literally, going back to our example here, what happened to Luna. Now, how many times do we have to see that happen to know that there's serious danger with, first off, these types of stable coins, and second of all, the idea that just putting reserves behind it, etc., is actually a way to stabilize it, right? When we know very well that this was not the case. And you can just remind yourself of the drop there. And of course, going back to our good old UST, which was probably one of the most trusted stablecoins in this space just up until maybe 2-3 weeks before the crash, where things started getting sketchy. You saw what happened, guys, right? It just took a matter of a few days to start absolutely getting destroyed. Now, I honestly do hope that we don't see such an issue. And I think that USDC has a much better chance of recovering than Terra Luna Classic, but it does worry me, right? The overextension worries me. The weakness here in USDC. And I find it very, very odd that people are so stuck to the pump when the pump happened, right? I'm very glad for anybody who caught this, but now you need to look at the risk ahead, right? And keep in mind, we don't know what the situation with the banks are going to be. We don't know in what situation Bitcoin will find itself in if we do get a sharp drop back into the range, right? And then there is always a chance that we could dump, right? And at that point, things will get very, very concerning for Bitcoin and the whole crypto market. Now, I'm not going to say that's likely to happen, because for now we don't have signs that we are going to see a flip back to the lows, but it could always happen, right? And in that case, things are very concerning. So this should not be underestimated. If we manage to get above 28K on this pump and end up eventually consolidating in the higher range up here between 28 and 32K, at that point, I'm going to say we have a very, very high chance of slowly start re-entering into a bull market. But until then, guys, you need to look at the bigger picture, right? What's going on with equities, stable coins? There's a lot of weakness. And the weakness is not gone. It might be temporary relief because of a bounce or because of some type of bailout. But the weakness is going to show up sooner or later, right? When there's cracks in the system, things are going to fall through. Now, make sure to smash that like button. Leave a like. Consider dropping a super chat if you want to help support the channel. And also, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know if there's any coins you want me to take a look at. Take a quick look at the futures here. Still a bit red. Very often for both cryptos and stocks, around midnight, things start dumping. And as we get later in the day, and as I speak right now, we can see the weakness in USDC if you've been paying attention to it. We now got ourselves into a nice little downtrend on a stablecoin, guys. And yes, I know we've been consolidating up here, but what worries me, right? People probably thought when we were up at 996 that we were probably out of this mess. But just think what happens, right? If we just go as low as going below 0.993, it's going to cause a massive free fall back into the low 90s. And after that, guys, there's no telling how low it could go. I mean, when a stablecoin depegs, it really goes fast, right? Just remind you what happened here. Actually, we can literally calculate how long that took. That was about a 15% drop in just about 12 hours. I would not be saying this if we fully repegged, guys. Because if this was Bitcoin, this would be a lower high. A lower high, guys. Because we did not come back to $1. So effectively, right, we got one of these going on. Right? Lower high. Like I said, I don't think this is the end of the whole USDC situation. And I hate to say it, but if this blows up, you can look back at this video and see what I was talking about. This is a very, very dangerous time where a lot of people could get burned in crypto, right? Not just because of the USD thing, but also just the overextension that we saw here. And the fact that at any moment, more drama with the banks, okay? I mean, guys, in just the last 3 days alone, right? We had in the last few days, we had Silvergate, Silicon Valley Bank, First Republic, a whole bunch of regional banks. We have Credit Suisse that's doing horrible. And those weaknesses are far from even being slowed down, right? Like I said, we had a temporary stabilization of USDC, although not back to $1. But I don't think the banks have gotten much stabilization at all, although some did pump today. Right? Too many risky factors. I'm going to be very cautious here. Very, very cautious, right? Now, maybe I am calling this a little bit early, but I don't think that this story is over, guys. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't be shy to share your opinion. This is what these live streams are meant for, to communicate with each other, share our opinions. That's why I thank people who kindly disagree with me, like one of my followers here on Twitter. Right, this is what it's meant for. We can talk about it together. Like I said, any coins you want me to take a look at, just let me know in the comment section down below. We've got 6 live viewers. Please make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. Consider dropping a super chat. Any amount helps to support the channel and make sure I keep doing these daily live streams. Shout out to all our regular super chatters like Blue. And we will see how the market starts moving tomorrow and as we head into the end of this week. Definitely a crazy pump for Bitcoin. Longs absolutely won on this one, but we are experiencing heavy volatility, guys. And I don't think anybody wants that right now, because it's not going to lead to anything stable. And look at this USDC, guys. I'm telling you right now, this is very, very dangerous right here, right? It is not actually back to 1-to-1. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you all very soon. Bye-bye.